And this is where I think it's really important to think about your own personal risk in terms of having severe illness. And so that's impacted by all of the other medical conditions we have. It's also impacted by whether or not you've been vaccinated. I cannot stress how important it is for folks who are eligible to go ahead and get the booster, because that's going to make a huge difference in terms of reducing your overall risk, even if you do get it, of having some sort of milder illness. And then I think the other part of it to think about is that we know that this virus is much more transmissible. So we're starting to see CDC recommend more snug fitting masks. I know we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So that's one of those things to think about. If you are immunocompromised, meaning you have a weak immune system, you may want to consider wearing a mask if you're going to choose to go to these locations that maybe has less likelihood of, having aerosol droplets transmitted. The other part of it too to think about is ventilation. And, I we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes, but ventilation is really, really important. And so any of the activities that you can do outside, you're going to be safer than if you're doing them in a closed space indoors. So I'd like to keep that in mind for those folks that have the option, for example, to dine outside and to do that with their family that they've seen. Those are all going to be safer activities per se than, let's say, going indoors to a very crowded bar or restaurant.